to Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Murr.
I'm the problem, it's
Mister.
This is a humbling league at times, and credit to them. They did more than we did to win the game.
Just wasn't playing well enough. I think ball placement was a little all over the place today. I think early on just missed a couple throws and was a little bit off. And
I think we all can be better. Myself, number one at the forefront of that.
Amen.
So you can tell Rutledge.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside John Audius, here's Jim Rutledge.
It's official, the big voice guy and everything. It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Prime, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
We didn't want to throw John into that right away. So, John, when I do say when the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Matt Hamilton invented this. He says, Crush, a Coors Light. So now either Ryan, if you want to going forward, you can hop in on that as well. We don't do it every time. 60% of the time, we ask you to crush Coors Light. 100% of the time.
So you want me to say
Crush Coors Light. So we'll do it. Ryan, we'll do it one more time. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Okay, and I join you.
Yes,
Okay.
you guys can do
Let
it.
me write that down.
Yep.
Crush a Coors Light.
It's like a symphony. Jim's a
Yes,
conductor.
that's
and
why I got the power because Molly Brown realized that when she did it filling in last week, when you say it, you got a little bit of juice because you're not forced them to do it, but people jump in. It's like if you were on stage, like a big call back and forth.
Yeah.
So
when I say this, you say that. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. By we, I mean Jim Rutledge and John Audius, and we got a lot to get into the show. And full disclosure, as we got Pablo Iglesias behind the glass as well, Bear fan. We got Viking fan John Audius, and we have me, Bear fan, Jim Rutledge. In prime time, Wollersheim, you are the representation for the Packer fans, 844-770-3776. We have a poll question I want to get into, but what I really want to know first, and we're going to start with Ryan because he is today the avatar for the audience, but the audience can chime in as well, 844-770-3776. Your experience watching the Packer game, Ryan, could not be, I think, more different, specifically John's and mine. John's coming from a place of joy. I'm coming from a place that I'm watching.
Spite.
Well, I'm trying to watch the Bears at the same time.
Jim.
So, my mood, I'm not going to, if the Bears don't win and the Packers lose, that's nice, but it's truly special if the Bears win and the Packers lose. So I had a special and a wonderful, great Sunday, but I was also trying to follow along with the Bears at the same time. John was watching that game live, and you were as well, Ryan. I want to get John's thoughts second. And again, Packer fans can chime in 844-770-3776. But Ryan, give us a 1 minute kind of first, that kickoff through the end of the game roller coaster ride for you.
Oh, I don't know if it was a roller coaster ride. It was more like
did you check out?
No, it was more like into the depths of what is it, like a mine shaft? It was more of a mine shaft.
All right, I'm gonna do this like this for you. First touchdown, what was your feeling?
First touchdown for which team?
For the Vikings.
For the Vikings?
Yes. The other one comes way later.
This defense looks like this defense.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Felt like the same old Packers defense in that first drive.
Yeah.
Then after that,
second touchdown. I want to just focus on the scores.
Just a touchdown.
Yeah,
I thought this was my experience.
Well, okay. Well, you seemed a little bit lost on it. So
I was trying to give you an explanation of how it felt for me because it wasn't a roller coaster. It was right down the mine shaft.
Yeah. Okay.
From the very start, they give up a touchdown on the opening drive. And then right after that, they go down all the way down the field. They have a pretty nice offensive drive.
They do, yep.
Braden Arvison off the upright. Perfect. Once again.
Were you done with him then?
Green Bay to me.
I think I might have been done with him already after he had missed 2 field goals in the first 3 games. So I wasn't feeling great about Braden.
Because they got rid of Anders Carlson because he seemed to miss one every game.
Yeah, no, it just feels like Braden is discount Anders Carlson at this point. Okay. He is the Roundy's version of Anders Carlson. Maybe we
Brownie's got you strays today.
Well, I mean, look,
Aldi's? I feel
I
like
was gonna say he's the Aldi's.
Aldi's. Well, look,
Aldi's is pretty
And I
dang
like
good.
Aldi,
So
yeah, we
never
do
mind.
shop at
No,
Aldi.
no.
Braden is pretty
That's not
round
good.
himself, so maybe Roundy's makes more sense. But then, yes, after that, then they go and they give up a third touchdown. Well, actually, then they gave up their second touchdown. That was Jordan Addison killed them over the top on the first play.
Yep.
Then I think the next one was a tight end scoring on like a play action.
Yep, pretty simple NFL play, but
Yeah.
a good play by Darnold. Yep.
Yeah, and then he throws another touchdown to Jordan Addison, which, by the way, I dropped Jordan Addison in fantasy Sunday morning. From
dropped
both.
him?
I dropped him.
Wow.
Because it was his first game back, and I'm like, it's a Justin Jefferson game. He's going to eat up all the stats, and I need another running
You
back.
benched or dropped?
Dropped.
Wow.
Cut him off the team.
Okay.
So perfect timing by me. So for me, it's like I'm in absolute the bottom, the depths of the mine shaft. And then they went. I can't even remember how they went down 28-0. It was all a blur.
Justin
at that
Jefferson
point.
got a touchdown in there, didn't he? In the first half? Yeah, he got a
Yes.
touchdown.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a perfect
Yes.
place. Yes.
And that was the one where I'm like, you know what? If there's any I'm gonna live with, it's that one.
Well, because he did I didn't know if that one stung because he kind of was he did the gritty. He looked into the crowd a few times.
That's how it goes, though. That's every touchdown he gets.
That's true.
That didn't feel like he was singling us out more than Sam Darnold was singling out Keyshawn Nixon all game. Because that was probably the worst experience of trying to watch Keyshawn Nixon, the Packers' nickelback, being moved out to corner to cover Justin Jefferson of all guys.
But I feel like Nixon gave up a touchdown. I think Stokes gave up one. And I know that the first one was on Ballantyne.
Yes. So
I was confused because they're like, that's how quickly the game started. Like Eric Stokes carried to Ballantyne out, and then they're like, that touchdown was on Ballantyne. I'm like, what? Like you do like a double
once
take.
again, it was same old Packers defense.
Right.
Every corner stinks. They can't cover anyone. And it's not necessarily their fault. They're missing the top two guys. But that's why going into the game, I thought they get killed through the air. They ended up just getting killed on both sides of the ball. And then they finally come back. Thank God for a muff punt by whoever the Vikings kick returner was, or punt returner is. John?
I forget who it was.
Naylor? Okay. Either way, great weekend for Wisconsin football punters. That might be the only thing that's positive from the Badgers and the Packers this weekend.
It's true, yeah.
So then they go down 28-7 at halftime. Second half was encouraging, I'll say that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you still came up pretty short, and it was an awesome comeback. Felt like a great comeback. I didn't believe it until they actually had a chance, and then Jordan Love threw up his worst interception of the three on the day. That one he threw up to Dontavian Wicks in the end zone. Yeah, it was after that I was like, all right, it's over. And honestly, before halftime even, I was thinking they should take Jordan Love out of the game because I thought he was just going to get...
Wow.
I did see that question from ESPN Milwaukee, which I did not have the context, so it just looked insane. I'm surprised it didn't get dunked on more, which is basically should the Packers bench Jordan Love. And I was like, what?
Well, not bench him. My worry was, especially after he went for that run.
If you had a context, you're right. He did at times look he didn't look healthy.
No.
He had a limp a few times. You could see it in the broadcast. He was not getting his full oomph into the throws, which I think affected some of his accuracy.
It wasn't that for me necessarily. It was that after he went for that scramble run, he got a first down. He comes up, he's grabbing his knee.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why are we risking his health in a game where you're already down 28-0?
I get it from that perspective,
Yes.
but still,
That was my
you want your
perspective.
best shot to actually have a chance at the game.
And I'll say this.
I don't know, maybe you do want Jordan Love
Right.
on the bench. Never mind.
Well, yeah, in yesterday's game, would have been nice to maybe have Malik Willis. As I predicted, he would have scored a touchdown. Never ended up happening. But Jordan Love did give them a chance to win in the second half. And look, I feel better than I did at halftime of the game by the end of the game. But I still feel bad because it just felt like they got worked in the first half. And then they clawed their way back into it and made it more respectable. And they had a chance, but they couldn't capture it.
844-770-3776. You can describe the roller coaster of the Packer game to us if you'd like. I'll share my quick thoughts on it, which was basically, one, the game ended. I feel the same way about the Packers as I do right before the game, which was like, I think they're a playoff caliber team. I do not think as of today they can play themselves into it. They're not an elite team. They're not a Super Bowl winning team. I think that's the price you pay for being the youngest team. I know everyone likes that storyline, but I do think in the end that will bite you, that you will be a team that will be too inconsistent. And now they're 0-2 in the conference and 0-1 in the division. It's early, but it's not a great start for them on those lines. And watching the game, I thought Jordan Love looked rusty, and I thought he kind of played his way into it. But at halftime, John, and then I'll pass it off to you. When they went out 28-7, in my head, I'm like, Vikings, this game's going to get tight. Just from the Packers are too good. It's awkward to play with that big of a lead. How do you, especially early in the year, how are you going to manage that? And I know we were talking before the show, and you can share some of it. Certain opportunities where the Vikings could have kicked a field goal, made the score a little safer. So, like, those things made the game a little bit different for me because I was expecting the Packers to come back, but I did not expect them to get to 29. I thought that 31-22 or maybe 31-25 was going to be that final. It was going to get a little bit tighter than like me or Viking fans would want. But what was your experience?
Well, I was feeling pretty dang good. I'll tell you what. I thought you put it perfectly there, Jim. Awkward to play with the lead, with that big of a lead. And I think you're right. I think there is something to be said about that. From my perspective, I'm thinking, okay, 7-zip, good start. I'm thinking, okay, 14-0, good start. And I'm thinking, hey, where's Justin Jefferson now? Okay, don't need him. I'm thinking 21-0. Now we've got something to cook with here as a Vikings fan. I'm thinking, okay, now what am I saying on this show today? Am I talking about how the Vikings are clearly the better team? I'm starting to think that type of mindset. 28-0. At that point in the game, I said out loud in my house, oh, well, it's going to take, I prefaced it, if this lead holds, something along those lines. It's going to take like an NFL record type of comeback for the Green Bay Packers. So by that point, I was feeling like $1 million. Of course, they score 7, and you start to think, okay, well, it's not going to take an NFL record type of comeback here. And in the second half, I thought Brad Nortman on the previous show kind of said it well. Like, you start to change the way you play as an offense. So I can understand, too, as a Packers fan, when we look back, if you look back at the score and you go, well, if they had kicked these, if they had made these 2 field goals and blah, 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 you got to remember the game plays out differently. Minnesota doesn't I think Minnesota plays it differently in the second half. But I was feeling good. And then as the Packers started piling on their run, to me, I'm patient. I was a lot more patient, honestly, guys, than I thought I would be, because as long as that lead was still in favor of Minnesota, I was feeling good. I was not feeling good when Darnold fumbled. And I think of that time, it was like a 2-score lead, and then Darnold fumbles, and then a couple of plays later, the Packers score. That's when I started to not hit panic mode, but I'm thinking, okay, well, we've got ourselves a ball game. But I think you said it right, too. I think Jordan Love looked a little rusty, but at the same time, he comes out wearing a Packers jersey in the pregame, and a Favre jersey, rather, and he kind of looked like Brett Favre a little bit, some touchdowns here, some interceptions there. But overall, I came away feeling, and I know this sounds weird with 3 picks, I came away feeling okay about Jordan Love. I'm like, he was put in a situation, with the injury and everything that's been going on, and he still slung it around and almost brought him back.
I think that's a good way to look at it. I don't think there's anything to be discouraged about for the Packers unless you were, and I know that I got some grief for being the only ESPN Wisconsin regular personality who picked the Vikings to win.
By the way,
thank you.
You're the only one. Like, no one else was like, I don't know. I don't think Packers.
And it is wild to me because this is a pick 'em. The Packers are favored for most of the week 2.5 at home, which means that they're not truly even viewed as the true favorite in this game because you usually get 3 at home. At kickoff, they were a 3-point favorite. And it just was crazy to me that everyone was 100% secure in the idea that the Vikings wouldn't win this game, even though the Vikings, and this game went very similar to the last time they came to Green Bay, and that game got tight at the end. But the Vikings came to Green Bay last year with Kirk Cousins, who everyone likes to dunk on. Everyone, Kirk Cousins stinks. And then they replaced him with Sam Darnold. It's like, but this guy stinks more. Like, every guy on the team that you don't like stinks.
Who leads the league in touchdown passes?
Right, exactly. And so I will say the other thing that seemed very familiar to me, and I think this one's going to hurt Packer fans, is the defense. Great defenses stop scoring drives when it counts. And with 6 minutes and 50, or the Packers score with 10 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, they're down 28-22. The Vikings respond, and the Packers defense responds by allowing this to happen, a 7-play, 55-yard drive. Now, they did keep them out of the end zone, and that is a sign of a good defense of allowing field goals, not touchdowns, but not when you're in this place. If the Packers were truly an elite or great defense, like some fans want to crown them as, they don't allow that. That's what they've always done. Like, that was the final score. Think of San Francisco with Robbie Gould. Think of other times this year, Philadelphia. First game of the year. What did Philadelphia do? They needed points. They got the points. When the opposing team needs points and you're at home and the crowd is in it and behind you and you just scored a huge touchdown and you still allow those points, get kind of the same defense, you're just there in a different way. Like, yes, you get more turnovers and it's fun, but if you want to be great, you got to stop them when they're coming down the field to score points.
But don't you give them credit for the second half overall?
Yes. They're not a bad defense. I just, like, a lot of Packer fans coming in this game were like, now we have an elite defense. Now it's top 5. I think they're like the 12th best defense. They're a good defense. They're not great. They're a good, not great defense. They definitely turned things around. They definitely made some plays. Special teams, as you touched on, was a big part of it as well. They kind of got them back into it. But when it mattered, they got them back into it. But then when you're like, I can't bow, and this is like a storyline for me, John, for the Packers for years, is you got to make the stop when it counts. And I remember, what was it? That was Rodgers' last playoff game, right? With the Packers against San Francisco, when one-armed Jimmy G came here and beat the Packers.
Yes, in the cold, and when they
salted it away and kicked
got
the field
block
goal.
punt. Yes, and then Rodgers locked in on Devontae Adams deep down the field.
Right, but San Francisco got the ball, marched it down the field into field goal range. Again, a defense that's good, but not great because they still allowed that field goal.
I would say that defense looked a heck of a lot better than the one we saw on Sunday. Because
True,
at least
but
that defense
to
only
John's
gave
point,
up 20-something points.
They did tighten in the second half. So when you're playing playoff caliber teams, the Packers are averaging 31 points a game given up.
Yes, in the small sample size of 2 games, yes.
But I mean, same fans in the sample size of 2 games wanted to crown the Packers defense as...
Some fans did, yes.
I think that's
Some
a
fans.
really important point because if that trend continues, that's something you got to factor in, like how good really are you? And if you're facing elite competition and you're putting your offense in a position to score more than 30 points, you're not very good. You're not going to win a lot of those games.
Right, and I think they're a good defense and not a great defense is kind of my verdict so far on the Packers. And I think last year they were bad. But the first 2 years under Joe Barry, I thought they were good, not great. Last year, the team clearly quit on Joe Barry, and they should have moved off of him. But in general, I think they've been good, not great. They're just a different flavor. They're a more exciting flavor of good, not great, because now they get some turnovers, and they're a little bit more aggressive, but they're still allowing these points.
By the way, McKinney's pick, congratulations.
Yeah.
But hey, we all know was that really a pick? I mean,
the stat
and you
sheet.
talk about the
It's
muff.
pick.
You're right. In the muff punt,
Yeah.
like I think at that point you just kind of, hey, I'm not. If I can't see the ball, I probably shouldn't try to catch the ball. So there's some fortuitous bounces there,
Yes.
or some
Yeah.
fortunate things that happen for Green Bay as well. I'm just pointing that out. Okay.
No, you're not wrong. You also wouldn't be wrong if you went to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. They are Madison's custom jeweler. Actually, Scott Chalmers was at the Packers-Rams game, said it was crazy, and his quote was, the kicker blew it for us being the Packers. That was Scott Chalmers' insight to me when we talked this morning. But they're Madison's custom jeweler. They are Madison's family-owned jeweler. They have Scott or Ruth or Garrett or Devin. They're all at one of the Chalmers jeweler stores in Madison or in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes: the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty Tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than 4th-generation family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Friday for Fish Friday. Brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House, Madison's favorite spot for a Friday fish fry.
Hey, shady baby, I'm hot, like the prodigal son.
Tyler in Sun Prairie says, I agree the D dropped the ball and was so disappointing this weekend, but can we talk a little bit more how their top 2 corners were out and we're going up against the best wide receiver in the league? It would have been different. Would we have won? Probably not with the way we played. It should be part of the conversation, guys. It is, Tyler. But, Tyler, part of the conversation is, and I guess when I talk about a great defense, you have depth. And to get worked, I mean, it was easy for the Vikings. Very easy for the Vikings to start the game. Let's get out to Bill in Madison. He had some thoughts on an unfortunate injury for the Packers. Now, it looks like Christian Watson is lucked out with a high ankle sprain. I've seen some reports saying he might end up on the IR, which put him out for 4 weeks, but which then would put Christian Watson right on track for a normal Christian Watson season where he misses 4 games. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I know. It's just how it works.
I think you are trying to be a little mean there.
No, because I don't want to be mean on injuries. But I'm just saying that, like, I did say, here's what I want to be. I want to be right on it. When I've said forever that, like, unfortunately, oft injured guys just stay injured. But I'm not happy he's hurt. I just more about being right.
Yep.
Like I was telling fans for years, you can't bank on him being a 1 because if you start every year of if he's healthy, as we did a show last week about who is Wisconsin's Derrick Rose, Christian Watson never had the peak, but a guy just never could get healthy.
But he's still really young, right? Like he's still a
he's
young
older
guy.
Than you. We had this.
Is he not a young guy?
Well, he's 25. Christian Watson.
I don't know his exact age. I'll check.
He's a little older than you think. Let's go Bill to Madison. Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys. Yeah, you basically echoed my last sentiment. And I know everyone's going to talk about the defense, the first half wins, Matt LaFleur with a stupid penalty. But one of the takeaways from this is Christian Watson's hurt again. And I was saying this last year, like the guy from day one has been hurt. From literally day one at training camp has been hurt. When are we going to call him a bust? Like he was drafted the second pick in the second round of 2022, and I was high on him, but he's always been hurt, and I don't think this one was on him.
No.
Love threw at him over the middle into full coverage, and he got murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't. This one's on him, but at the same time, he is always hurt. You never know. Like you said, a typical Christian Watson season where he's hurt for half the season. And when are we going to all collectively say, like, maybe we didn't hit on this guy? And I think Gutekunst does a good job overall, but I don't think Watson's the guy. Reed looks awesome. Wicks looks okay. He definitely should have made some of those catches. But going back to Watson, I just feel like, when are we just going to move on and say, sorry, you can't stay healthy? Whether it's on him or not, you just can't. So that's my takeaway from that game is we got to figure out a way to move on from Watson and find another wide receiver 3 or 2 or wherever he was on the depth chart.
Thanks for the call, Bill. And I do think that it is one of those where there's players that have been like this. When are they going to move on from Christian Watson? They're not going to pick up his fifth-year option. It'd be mind-blowing on that. So he'll play out the season next year. I would imagine he's on the roster next year.
He is 25, like you mentioned, by the way.
Yes, yeah. So then he'll be 26 at the end of his rookie contract, which is old for a rookie contract side of things. As everyone knows, Braylon Allen is 14 years old in the NFL. It's really remarkable. The Benjamin Button of the NFL keeps on aging backwards. But forget even the age side of it. It's one of those where when you're this injured, I think he's just going to be a player that will be similar to MVS. Like, you're going to get signed on these one-year deals. It's going to hurt his ability to get these long-term contracts. Packers could bring him back, but they're not going to pick up a fifth-year option on him. Or actually, I don't even know if that's the thing for a second-round pick, but they're not going to extend him. They're going to let his contract run out, and maybe there's an option there for a one-year deal after that. But it's funny, John, when you come into the year, and every receiver is fantastic. And just throughout the course, right now, Reed is clearly number one. He is special. And then I think Dobbs is a nice player. Jury's out on Wicks, and Watson, I think at this point is, unfortunately, you can't call him reliable.
No.
And that's not, it's not even a rip on him. There's been good players who just can't stay healthy.
I think it's very critical. Yeah, you're right. 25 years old, one more year in his contract. And I guess maybe to answer the caller's question, when do you give up on him? After 2025, most likely. I mean, he's really going to need to he's going to need to finish this season and just have a solid 2025 for anything in his career to really blossom. And it sounds weird to say that, but you're right. By that time, he's going to be 26, going on 27 years old with a history of being injured. So, if you're a Packers fan, I think you just got to cross your fingers and hope that somehow the injury bug doesn't bite, because Christian Watson has that look, that potential, yes, that you pair him with Reed and Love and everything, like that could be very dynamic. The problem is, obviously, the injuries. I thought I thought he was going to be, when he got injured yesterday, I thought that did not look pretty,
Right. I was happy that it was just a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, what's the word today? He's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. That's what Matt LaFleur said at his press conference today. He said he believes it's a couple of weeks, which I will say is one of the fastest recoveries I've ever heard of for a high ankle sprain. Those are usually a little more significant than that, especially like you said, how bad it looked.
It looked really bad.
Yes.
And his injury history, I would be shocked, I guess, if he doesn't go on the IR, because what's the point of if someone 3 weeks is probably optimistic, and then you have a guy who's got bad hamstrings, who has an injury history. You don't want him to injure something else compensating for this. And that's what I was getting at, Ryan, is that I like being right on the side of things where when you have a guy like Watson, and the Packers have, though, that's the thing. They have covered for him. They've added a lot of receivers because
Jayden Reed is a star.
Right, but then Dobbs, then maybe you have Wicks, and then you kind of just see, is there enough to cover up? You don't need them all to hit because some are not going to hit. And Watson right now, unfortunately, is trending toward not hitting, and Reed is definitely trending towards hitting big. And Dobbs, for where he was picked, great pick. So you got a Steady Eddie and Romeo Dobbs. ascending star in Reed. Reed's always interested me just because of his size. It's still, I think there's only, I forgot what the number was, but there's only a couple receivers under 6 feet tall, and he's under 6 feet, who are like legit Pro Bowl, who have made Pro Bowls.
As of right now, he's 5th in the league in receiving yards, and he's 30th in catches.
And I'm talking like year over year over year. That's all. I'm not saying he can't get there, but I'm saying that he is the exception, Ryan. You can do your head thing, but I think it's 3 receivers in the history of the NFL.
What's the head thing?
Well, he's just doing this like, hey, but maybe
he gets
you're
annoyed when somebody disagrees with him.
But you're not disagreeing. I'm saying factually, 3 receivers under the height of 6 feet have made the Pro Bowl.
Is that a fact?
I looked it up previously, and everyone was all on their feels about it.
I feel like this
DJ
is a trivia
Moore,
question.
DJ Moore
it definitely is.
DJ Moore is 6 feet. Like
Let's
some guy, like it's a weird line. Like there are short guys who can do it, but most of them are 6 feet. Under 6 feet is that line of demarcation.
Jim just being a heightist now. I mean, first he's a Bears fan, now he's a heightist.
I think the height is a real deal, though, right?
No,
Like
it is. No, you're right. It is a sport. It is sports. It's
now,
physical.
if you wanted to get me for the disingenuous part, he's like 5'11" and a half. So like, it's not like he's barely not 6 feet.
Oh, God. I mean, 5'11" and a half. Like, just give him 6 feet. Come
with
on.
the cleats and
with the cleats and the socks. I mean, they wear thick socks nowadays.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a quarter inch.
He's 5'11". Now, is that a true 5'11"? I don't
is that a Tinder 5'11"? Is that a combine 5'11"? Who knows? We can ask Jason.
Romeo
Wilden.
Dobbs is 6'2". We will ask Jason.
What?
Yeah, right?
That I don't believe.
That's mind-blowing, right? That's taller.
How tall is Wicks?
And Rasheed
How
Weiss,
tall are these receivers?
Like it is strange.
That's why Christian Watson is kind of like you kind of want that. You want that height,
right?
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and he's 6'4", but I feel like he's almost like it's one of those too high, like in Major League. He's a little too tall. Like unless you're built like DK Metcalf, it's that 6'3" to 6'1", I think is that sweet spot up for a receiver. Unless you got that wide radius, if you're going up, you just get. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Watson it was a bad throw, put his receiver in a bad spot, and got his receiver. I should say bad decision to make that throw. We'll talk to Jason Wilde about that on the other side. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie here, Matt Hamilton. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than Metcalf's Market. They have an extensive selection of local and premium quality food, from meat and seafood to high quality produce, specialty cheeses, plus a great selection of beer, wine, and liquor. Metcalf's meats are cut and packed in-house, and Metcalf's is one of the only remaining grocery stores in the area that employs skilled and trained butchers. And exclusive in the state of Wisconsin to Metcalf's is certified Piedmontese beef. Head to one of their locations in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP. Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. It is me, Jim Rutledge, rocking out Pablo Iglesias, and I just see Pablo slowly bringing the music down there. I had to reference it.
Look, we're trying to have some peace of mind back here, Jim. Can you let us work? All right? We need you to stop talking in our backstroke.
I thought you guys were jamming out back there.
Well, we are. Yeah. We got Jason Wilde here.
Just put the hands up and rock it out. Me and John Audius with you. Jason, how you doing? Jason, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
We are fantastic, and I know you just left the Packers press conference, and I want to get to the some of the stuff from the game, but reading the quotes from Matt LaFleur, it really feels like with injuries going forward, talking about Christian Watson, that he's really just trying to channel his inner Bill Belichick, where Christian Watson's going to miss at least a week, but it seems like other reports have him likely on his way to IR. Like, how much is this gamesmanship from LaFleur, and how much is this just wishful thinking, or do you think Christian Watson will be back in 2 weeks, which LaFleur kind of implied?
Yeah, I have no idea. I just know that I'm really sick and tired of I didn't talk to the medical staff before I talked to you guys, and I did that on purpose. I'm not a huge fan of that approach. Again, I really enjoy my working relationship with him. I think he's a good dude. I don't think any of these coaches, the way they handle injury information is like, if you're trying to protect a player, say, whether it's a right knee or a left knee, totally get that, right? Because that's protecting your player from the opponent knowing which leg it might be. I'm fine with that. But, first of all, it's on film which ankle it is for Christian Watson. And secondly, you're not doing him any favors. And in the world that we now live in with wagering on the games, I just don't understand how the NFL is going to continue to allow teams and coaches to play games with the injury report. Now, I would use as an example of this is where you have to be able to read between the lines, would be last Friday, when Jair Alexander had already been on the injury report with a quadriceps injury. But then on Friday, he doesn't practice, and he has both a quadriceps and his groin injury. And for those of us that have done this for a long time, we're able to read that and go, okay, he had to have injured his groin in practice on Thursday, because that's not how the injury report had read. And so I asked LaFleur about it after the game, after he was inactive, and I had a pretty good idea that he wasn't going to play. So when he didn't play, that did not surprise me. But to what degree does the league itself and do coaches owe it to the people that are playing fantasy football for big money,
who are betting on the games through league-sponsored partners, to what degree do they owe more information? I think this is something that is going to be an issue moving forward. But for right now, Matt LaFleur can absolutely get away with telling Rob Domofsky and Bill Huber and me. I haven't talked to the medical staff, and I did that on purpose, so I can't tell you anything.
If you're Matt LaFleur, how do you handle that question?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to be back sooner rather than later, but we all saw it. He was in a lot of pain. We're still running some tests. But obviously we have injured reserve as an option for us and have him on IR for 4 weeks, but no determination has been made yet on what the timeline's going to be, so I can't give that to you guys. That seems like a reasonable answer that still doesn't tell us a whole heck of a lot, right?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Jason, I feel like if you had a penny for every time a coach could have given a simple answer and didn't, you'd be a wealthy, wealthy man, because that's just not what they do.
Yeah, right. And then I would wager it all on the injury information that I don't have. Look, I understand that's part of the gig. I don't get irritated with it. And look, I'm on Team LaFleur about his penalty. I don't. He apologized. He's embarrassed. All this other stuff. I thought that was a colossal mistake by that officiating crew. Any official could have recognized him calling timeout. He clearly did it twice, and then nobody responded. So then he's jumping up and down. He did not utter the magic words that one starts with an M and the other starts with an F. That often gets you a penalty. So I think it's great that he's saying, if I'm going to preach keeping your poise and not making those types of mistakes, I have to do better. That's great, and I understand that. But they did not do their jobs. And I have a good friend who officiated both high school and high, like Division I college. And, his point is that officials are human too. They make mistakes, but they have the discretion to do something about it. Like, he could have easily picked up the flag and said, hey, that was our bad, right? His reaction was based on our clueless line judge staring off into space like my kids when I'm telling them a story. Like, so again, I don't love his approach with injuries. I think high ankle sprains generally are up to a month. So what's a shame is that Christian Watson, who finally stayed healthy throughout all of training camp and to start the season, had 2 games where he had Malik Willis at quarterback, so he had limited opportunities, and now he's going to miss at least some time with his latest injury.
Yeah, and by the way, with that LaFleur timeout, penalty, all that situation, it seemed like really, I agree with you, Jason. It also seemed like to me that on that replay where the official looks away and then looks back, and then it just seemed like really unfortunate timing. Like, it's just one of those things that I'm not trying to, take some onus off of the ref there, but it looked like it was just really unfortunate that, you look away, timeout, look back, no timeout. So I don't know how much that factors in.
But that's fair. But I would also add that there's, 9 guys on the crew?
Yeah.
Rob Domofsky asked LaFleur this afternoon. Anybody can grant them the timeout. It doesn't have to be the closest official. And so, again, the fact that no one reacted, the fact that and look, precious time is clicking off. Like, Romeo Dobbs not getting in the end zone. Like, if he had been arguing the call,
right,
I would not be forgiving toward him, because I thought it was very clear he juggled the ball, and then by the time he got possession, he was out of the end zone. So my issue isn't if he had been doing that, hey, throw the book at him, or at least the flag at him. I'm fine with that. But again, the way if you fail to do your job and then you're penalizing a guy for going a little above and beyond in his reaction to you failing to do your job, I have a hard time blaming LaFleur a ton for that.
Jason, before you joined, and John is a Vikings fan, so I wanted to run this by him first before I ran it by you, but did we all underestimate the Vikings coming into this year? Because realistically, if Kirk Cousins doesn't get hurt, and I ran this by John and didn't think it was crazy, and the Vikings lost a couple games by a point, 2 points. I think they lost all their games after Kirk Cousins went out by less than 10 points.
There's a 1-point loss, a 3-point loss, a 3-point overtime loss, a 6-point loss. Yeah.
So if Kirk Cousins isn't knocked out by tearing his Achilles, the Vikings might have the Packers slot in the playoffs. And so we could be looking at a team that had a playoff roster that switched out a quarterback, and obviously the Darnold Cousins, that's the surprise how good Darnold's looking, but they're able to add players and fill in the roster around Sam Darnold, and they built off a team that if their quarterback didn't go down last year, they would have been in the playoffs. Is it crazy that maybe we all just underestimated the Vikings because their season ended poorly last year, and I think it's easy to write them off sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, they won 13 games 2 years ago. Now they went 11-0 in one-score games.
Yeah.
That is not right. I mean, that's not. You would think that would even out a bit, and maybe that's what happened to them a little bit last year, even without Cousins.
True.
I also think Kevin O'Connell is a really good football coach. Now, I think he chose like that protector of the chalice in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. He chose poorly when he started with Garrett Hall that he started on New Year's Eve. Like, I know he was sick of Nick Mullins' turnovers, but, like, they never had a chance to win that game because of the choice he made. Look, did we underestimate him a bit? Sure. But we probably just thought, look at Sam Darnold's track record. Why would you think that a team quarterbacked by him would be getting off to a 4-0 start with the Texans, the 49ers, and the Packers on their schedule? Right? Like, what they've done is extremely impressive, and they deserve all the credit in the world. But I'm not going to apologize for not expecting them to be able to do that.
I think
it's totally reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Not expected.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Chase. I was going to say, I did not have Darnold leading the league in touchdown passes before the start of the season.
I don't think Sam Darnold's mom had him leading the league.
Kicking. Can we talk about kicking? What can the Packers do with their kicking situation, and do you think we have a different game, or how do you think the game plays out if the Packers execute on field goals?
Yeah, I like Braden Narvison's line. We lost by 2. I missed 2 field goals. I have to own that. Like, simple math, right? I mean, that there's no denying that. Now, there's other aspects of the game that might go differently. I get that, but the bottom line is, if he makes all of his field goals, the way one of the guys they didn't want did for the Giants, right? Greg Joseph making all 5 of his kicks on Thursday Night Football. It's obviously a different outcome. Now, all that said, I don't think they've got a whole lot of appealing options. They obviously have Brandon McManus, who's now available, right? Who had been released, and I don't want to inaccurately portray what his misbehavior might have been, but I feel like it was. I'm not even going to go there.
Ryan just said it's domestic abuse related. That's what Ryan said in my ear. So.
Yeah, I think it was like on a team flight or something, how he treated a flight attendant or something. But the bottom line is inappropriate. But now the NFL has determined that he's not. He's eligible. So I'm not saying that that situation makes for the most appealing option for a guy to pick up necessarily based on what occurred. But the bottom line is that this is a guy that has kicked in the league and kicked with success. So whether or not they want to bring him in at least for a workout or something, I'm not sure. All I know is that I have a hard time continuing to do the same thing over and over again. And I got into it a little bit with, not like in a mean-spirited way, but I got into it a little bit with Rich Bisaccia on Thursday because my point was, I know the one kick that he missed was wiped out in Nashville, but the bottom line is Braden Narvison has done exactly what you got rid of Anders Carlson for, which is missing one kick a game until yesterday when he missed 2. And so if that's the problem with whether or not you want to keep Anders Carlson, then I feel like you have to at least hold him to the same standard. And now that he's missed 2, now I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with him because the options, if you don't like McManus, as Bill Huber put it, the next best available kicker might be Anders Carlson. So go right ahead if that's what you want to do.
This is going to be a stupid question, but you're going to be the one that knows the answer to it. Like, what is Mason Crosby doing? Or Robbie Gould? Like, I'd honestly, if I'm a Packer fan, I'd rather have a guy that I could count on being 40 yards in. I know Gould technically retired and didn't kick last year, but, like, I'm sorry. I feel like Packer fans know what he can do. He made 85% of his kicks, I think, his last year in the league, or 84.4. Like, is there a thought of just finding a guy who's money inside of 40, and then, like, after that, we'll just go for it with Love?
Yeah, I don't know what Mason's up to or Robbie Gould. Like, I just don't know. Once you're out of the league, I don't know how you kind of decide what you want to do there. So
I feel like money.
I don't know. To me, the bottom line.
When you throw enough money at a guy, I'd be like, I'll kick. You know, like they're. I mean,
great job today.
Yeah, I don't know if guys that have been out of the league for a year are necessarily any more of an upgrade. And there's plenty of rookie kickers that aren't bad. Like, they just right now have a guy who's missing a lot of kicks. Like, you know, there's a bunch of teams, like a surprising number of teams that have actually gone with rookie kickers, which I don't know. If I have a competitive team, that's not what I'm looking to do. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Jason, we'll let you go. Sounds like you're getting busy there, so appreciate the time.
Yeah, big volleyball match that we're walking into.
Well, enjoy that. Enjoy that.
Good
luck. All right, that's Jason Wilde. If you missed any of that, you can listen back Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. But I want to tell you about Carbon World Health. You can go there, take semaglutide like I have. You also can talk to them about hormone optimization, workout recovery. The cryo is something I've been using a ton of as I work back from a stupid back injury.
You've been doing cryo?
Yes, love the cryo over there.
That's cold.
Well, it's here's the thing. It doesn't drop your body temp, and so it's cold, but it's when you get out, you're fine. You're right back at
okay.
Yeah, because if you do like the cold tub, you get in there and like you're going to be cold for a long time. Cryo's cold. It takes a few times to get used to, but Tarek Sala is the one. Like, I didn't use it a ton, but Tarek, obviously Badger Hall of Famer now, he goes after his workouts. He'll go to use the cryo, add carbon or the red light, and then they recover. But it does work. It's usually the best if you can get there or like work out there and then go right in it. But yeah, it does, but it doesn't drop the core temp.
How cold does that get?
Cold. That I couldn't tell you. I should find that out, how cold it gets. But
I interrupted.
But you don't feel it on your skin.
Okay.
And it's about 90 seconds you're in there.
I could do that.
And then you're out. And, yes, there are some. Like, it took my wife. She's done it a few times. Took her a couple times to get used to it because she was like being cold. But it's still it's like all the benefits of a cold tub, but way better and, like, faster and, like, more, like, what's the word? You can burn, like, calories. Like, some people go in
Just
there
for, like 90 seconds?
because your body goes into fight or flight.
Sure.
And then you start kind of get that runner's high afterwards.
Okay.
So, like, at a bare minimum, you can even pop there and do that. Carbon World Health, they got cryo, red light, and plenty of other options. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starry on Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starry on Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience by going to starryonbank.com. Member FDIC.
Fans of Wisconsin football experienced an emotional roller coaster Saturday watching the Badgers fall ultimately at USC. Former Badger Brad Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day said experiencing that range of emotions actually a good thing for fans of the program.
I have become too accustomed to, whether it be last year or this year, walking away just feeling nothing. I saw a glimpse of what could be and what should be, and a game that we kind of let get away from us, and that gives me some frustration and optimism, things you actually want.
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Offer on September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss, I've lost 35 pounds and I'm still hoping to lose more. I'm fitting into clothes I haven't worn in years. I'm feeling naturally more energized. Really, I'm just feeling great. Madison Weight Loss is exactly the program I needed to live a healthier life.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
It's the September sell down at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Save up to $10,000 and get 0% APR on the 2024 Silverado 1500. Includes $4,877 dealer discount, $3,000 consumer cash, and $1,750 bonus cash. Must qualify for trade assistance $1,000. See all of our specials at Zimbrick Chevrolet East Madison, Sun Prairie, and ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Offer expires September 30th. You never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Daniels Construction is a proud employee and family-owned business serving South Central Wisconsin for 71 years. Want to join the team at an award-winning, self-performing contractor that's committed to quality and excellence in every project? They offer multi-trade career opportunities with on-the-job paid training and career growth opportunities. Whether you're looking to start a new project or a new career, Daniels Construction is building better futures, people, and communities. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
Business owners, athletic directors, and coaches, huddle up. Ches Malusi here. Did you know that you can outfit your business or school in Iron Jock apparel? Premium gear infused with world-class silver ion technology for permanent odor protection at a wholesale price that no one else can touch. Anti-static, 4-way stretch, wicking, cooling, and Iron Jock doesn't sell cheap cottons that shrink and fade. You'll love it. Get started at ironjock.com and click on Order My Gear. That's ironjoc.com. Order My Gear.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. JJ in Poinette is happy to hear John on the show. He caught your very first call of Wisconsin volleyball, and it was pretty good. Pretty good, he says, despite how difficult of a sport it is to call. Simply awesome now. So it says
you say my very first?
Yes.
Like we're talking 2008?
That's what I'm guessing, and now you're simply awesome.
Oh, God, I agree 100%. Well, not about being awesome, but I agree, like, the difference. Like, the first time I did a volleyball match, I was like, what the heck has happened here? And point somebody, you know.
That chair must do it, Ryan, because Matt definitely.
I'm not
definitely
saying,
like, you're right. I am awesome. You know what?
I didn't mean it like that.
Please do own it. I mean, everyone's got it, right? Right, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
I did not mean it like that.
Hey, pump yourself up, John. You deserve it.
No, I'm not that guy.
All right, we did have a poll question, 844-770-3776, how you get into the show. And we did ask the question, do you think the Packers are still a top-2 team in NFC North after Sunday's loss to the Vikings? Right now, 66% of you say, yeah. Okay.
What?
Hard to justify that. Now, because we didn't ask like at the end of the year. We're asking today. Charles, Gibson with some classic coping. All three are equal. I can't call them weak. I can't call them equal. And then CJ Tielicki said, I believe that's former Madison Mallards manager, 23-9, yes, if they were playing, but they're not. And another amputee in the Mad City says it's going to be a tough division for sure.
What's his name in the talking text? Or their name in the talking text line?
Amputee in the Mad City.
Wow.
It's a secret one.
Okay, but amputee, are they a top 2 team?
Yeah, there's a lot of coping there. Of if this, then that.
Yeah, if
but,
that, then this. Yeah.
It's not quite there. I think it's fair to say they're not. Not right now.
I agree.
And especially if Detroit wins, they're going to actually have a pretty uphill battle to win the division. And it's different, John, than it used to be. And this was never ripping Rodgers, but I always just the NFC North for a long time was very much like the NFC East is now. But except the NFC North had the Packers and then a bunch of either like the Vikings were, I would say, inconsistent. There were times they had teams that could compete. The Lions were bad, and the Bears were good once every 5 years.
Yep.
And then that was it. And then the Packers could basically roll up.
And the Packers had a future Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
That could roll out of bed and they could get 10, 11 wins every year.
And sweeping the division was not insane. And so you could just, in your sleep, knock up 6 wins. Yep. And so that's one way that's just changed now. Now, Ryan, I want to play this game here, and why don't you give us a little background on it? Because are you giving us the players? Are we giving you who's picking the players here?
What are we doing?
We're going to do the emoji.
Well, I thought I explained it in our group text. I think John's on the same page.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, but to fans.
There may not be some listeners who didn't
get
the text.
Right, well, I threw out the idea of let's do grades, and you said let's do emojis. So I thought I'd give you the opportunity because this is kind of
my point was that it seemed like you didn't know how it was going to work.
No, I was trying to set the audience up.
Okay,
I know how it works.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start the countdown music. So we talked about we wanted to do letter grades, is what it was, John.
Yeah.
Jim and I, we wanted to find a new way to react to games.
They don't even do letter grades in grade school.
Exactly.
We should have done meeting expectations, exceeding expectations. Right? That's what they do.
And
now.
that's why we need to have a non-traditional grading scale for this show, because God knows we don't do our homework, so why should we expect the fans to? We're doing a non-traditional grading scale where we're not grading with letter grades. It's emoji grades. Oh. So the 3 grading scales, or points, are a happy face because whoever performed had a great game, made us happy as fans. Next one, it's a shrugging emoji. You know what? You did pretty much exactly what I expected you. Just about right. Okay?
Well, I kind of took these as my... Okay, keep going. Sorry.
All right, and then the last one is the barfing face. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's a disgusting performance. Now, I don't know if I would assign that grade to a child ever, because I would not want to hurt their self-esteem that way. But they're NFL players. They can take it.
See, in that one, I always just think of the old poison stickers, which I don't think exist anymore, where you put the sticker on like something that your kid's not supposed to have. I remember growing up, it was a thing. Like, you just would put it on like bleach or other things. And your kid would see that as a little kid and be like, nope, I don't want that.
Well, now it's the opposite.
Now it's just
kids
an
my
emoji.
age. No, now we just eat Tide Pods and we put bleach in our apple juice.
Well,
but
that's because
anyways,
you got rid of the stickers. Should have put stickers on stuff and said no.
And that's why we're bringing it back. Emoji stickers. All right, guys, so let's start. Now, obviously, you guys are Vikings and Bears fans, so maybe this doesn't make a ton of sense.
I love this.
Yeah, you guys, just all disgusting grades for you guys, for our players, I'm sure. But if you had to give a smiling, happy emoji to Packers players, which one would you do? John, I'll start with you.
This was between 2 players, one a wide receiver and one a quarterback. Guess who the quarterback was? And the reason I'm going to give it to Jordan Love, and I understand, he was out there with 3 picks, and it wasn't the prettiest at all, but I like the way he worked through coming back from injury. I like the way he kept the Packers in the game. I like the way he brought the Packers back. I saw a ball bounce off a receiver's chest at one point that could have been a touchdown. I'm going to give my happy face, despite lots of turnovers, to Jordan Love. And I think that's a little controversial, but I'll go with Jordan Love.
Jim?
Jaden Reed. Yeah. That's an easy one. 7 catches, 139 yards, and
well,
a
you
touchdown.
say that's an easy one, like I missed the emoji.
No, not like that. I was just saying
easy.
that
You got
I
it
had
wrong.
that one ready to go.
Oh,
no.
sorry.
I'm a little bit different with you on Love, but not that far off.
Oh, Jim's not quite. Doesn't feel the same about Love as John does.
I mean, 3 picks. It was a rough first half, so we'll get to the next one here.
I get it.
Well, Jim's a complicated fellow. He has a weird relationship with Love.
Hey, it was between Reed and Love for me.
Yeah.
All right, and for me, I have to take the guy who exceeded my expectations the most in this game, Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft, the tight end for the Packers, scored his first touchdown of the season. And guys, he was a monster in this game, blocking down the field. He was able to open multiple gaps in the running game that didn't really exist much outside of the first half because Packers had to throw the ball pretty much constantly. But if I'm thinking about guys who exceeded my expectations in this game, he exceeded them to the point where I thought he was going to bring them back right up until the point where Byron Murphy punched out the ball for a fumble. So it wasn't a perfect performance for Tucker Kraft for sure. But if I had to pick one guy, he was my guy who, honestly, I come away feeling really good about him.
Can I say when I made these picks too, I was never told exceeding expectation. Like, you didn't explain it like that. You just said pick an emoji.
We've never done this before.
It's never done it before.
Okay.
I think the way you did it, John, is perfect.
Oh,
at
stop
the
it.
end. No, it is, truly.
But it's all like, look, teacher's grade on. There's a little bit of, you can be a little subjective in this.
Yes, and John, you know what? At this point, you're already exceeding my expectations, which is why I'm going to go to you right again.
Okay.
Who so far for the Packers, or in this game, who was your shrug?
Well,
just kind of did what you expected.
Let me explain why I picked this player for the shrug. I picked this player for the shrug because, yes, you're extending a great streak of having an interception in consecutive games, but I give a shrug because I guess give it to him because that shouldn't have been an interception. And I love that. I get it. Like, you get to extend your streak, and everybody's happy with that as Packers fans, and we'll look for a 5th consecutive game. But it shouldn't have been a pick, so I'd be like, whatever. I guess he did something good, but it shouldn't have counted. Shrug your shoulders. That's the way I looked at it.
That's what I went with Jordan Love. 3 picks, a little too inaccurate. I understand he was working off rush, so but still, it's just like the Philadelphia game. I still would have given him a shrug in that one too. I know the contract doesn't kick into next year, but you're the $60 million man. You have to be top tier. That was a fine game, and he gave him an opportunity, but he's also very much a Favre game. They were in it because of Love, but they also weren't in it because of Love, because of some of his bad interceptions. So, shoulder shrug.
Yeah. I feel pretty much similar to Jim about Jordan Love in that one. Coming back from injury makes a lot of sense. The one guy for me who's a shoulder shrug in this one was Dontavian Wicks. Some really high highs in this game, a lot of lows. I think he had probably 3 drops. I know the Packers had 5 total drops. Felt like he was dropping every other pass. So he had 13 targets, 2 touchdowns. One of Love's picks was a deep bomb to Dontavian Wicks where he maybe should have been looking for the ball, actually. Didn't do a great job on that play, but he still had one of his best career games. So I kind of got to give it both ways. He came back in the second half. He was one of the guys who really helped lead them back in the second half. So for me, Dontavian Wicks is a shrug, despite getting a career-high 13 targets in this game. 52 passing attempts for Jordan Love. His Brett Favre game for sure.
Man, I didn't realize it was 52 attempts.
52. Jeez.
That makes sense. You're down by a bunch. You got to throw the ball.
It's a disgusting number of passes, John. And let me ask, who's your disgusting Packers player for this game?
Now, is this a layup? I mean, are we all in agreement here? It's Narveson.
It's a layup for everyone but Narveson.
Yes. 100%. Now, I'm not on the boat that says, see how I used boat? Because I didn't mean to do that. It just came to my... that says, hey, if he makes those, then this happens, because you cannot do that. And I hope most Packers fans, I saw that online this morning. I'm like, come on, have we not realized that you can't play that game? Maybe the Vikings kick a field goal down late and extend it out to 34. There's a lot of things like that would play out differently. That's the point. But Narveson for sure. I mean, I'll say this, the 2 field goals possibly could have made a huge difference, but I won't go as far as to say it wins them the game, but I think the odds would have been on the Packers side if he makes those field goals.
I definitely agree with that. I'll throw out another name. I thought Eric Stokes was pretty horrible. I guess I don't know the expectations for him. You could have gone with Stokes or Ballantyne. At least Nixon had a sack. And he had
the blitz sack.
Yeah, but Stokes is bad. That's a miss.
Did you feel like he had glaring flaws in this game? I don't remember many plays where he got exposed.
He definitely one of the touchdowns. He was the guy.
Well, the touchdown to Justin Jefferson, that's kind of just a touchdown.
That wasn't on Stokes. I think that was on.
Was that on Nixon?
I think it was the first touchdown was on Stokes. No,
the first was on Ballantyne.
There was a touchdown or a couple big plays on Stokes.
See, that's what's tough though, is when you have your top 2 corners out, all the 3 other guys just feel like they're the same guy.
But and it's just more of just in general, it's worth reminding. Stokes is not that's just a miss. He was bad before he got hurt last year.
He might be a good backup corner, though.
But it was a first-round pick, so it's a miss.
Yes. Okay, fair. As a first-round corner, it's a miss.
But I agree on Narveson, but I just wanted to put another name out there.
And outside of the Colts game so far this year, Josh Jacobs, where are you at, man? I need to see a little bit more out of you. All right, I know you only got, He didn't get as many snaps in this game as he would have liked to. Ended up getting 61% of the snaps. Emmanuel Wilson got 39%. That's too close, honestly. I feel like he should be still getting more carries, more touches, more snaps.
2 fumbles, no touchdowns, 4.6 yards per carry.
He still doesn't have a touchdown?
So 0 TDs right here. Maybe he's got a receiving one.
No, because he fumbled into the end zone in the Colts game. Either way, he didn't really do much in this game. I just need to start seeing more out of him because given how great Xavier McKinney has been, and yes, John, that was an interception. It still counted. They reviewed it. He's got 4 in a row, 4 straight games. The first Packers player to do it since Nick Collins, by the way.
Oh.
Pretty good company there.
Yeah, Nick Collins.
But right now, Josh Jacobs doesn't have great company because he got overshadowed by the other Packers former running back. Aaron Jones had a better game than him. So outside of that, I don't really know what else to feel good about Josh Jacobs. Colts game was great.
I was really hoping from a Vikings fan perspective that Aaron Jones scored. I wanted to see him go jump into the stands if he would have tried a Lambeau leap or something like that.
You saw he did it after the game, though? So?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did. So he went out to midfield. He greeted some of the Packers personnel people, sort of met them out there, gave them hugs, and then afterwards, as he was running towards the tunnel, went kind of in that corner and jumped up into a crowd of Vikings fans, did the whole selfie video and all that stuff.
This show is called Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're going to talk to Molly Brown on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, capturing the spirit of game day in Madison with previews, reactions, and analysis before and after every Wisconsin football game this season. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. You can also listen to Green Bay game night last night after the Packers fell 31-29 in their first division game against the Vikings yesterday. Jordan Love, in his return from a sprained MCL, 54 passing attempts on 32 completions, career high 389 yards, but also throwing 3 interceptions for the second time in his career. Packers fall after falling to a 28-7 hole to start the game at halftime. Packers will look to rebound this coming Sunday as they head out to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. 3:25 kickoff out there at SoFi Stadium. Then the Wisconsin Badgers also falling out this past weekend out in Los Angeles. They got up 21-10 at halftime, but crumbled in the second half, giving up 28 unanswered points in their conference opener to new conference opponent, the USC Trojans. They'll be back at it this Saturday as they take on the Boilermakers at Camp Randall Field. Brewers playoff action starts tomorrow.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's murder.
I'm the flower of its murder.
This is a humbling league at times, and credit to them. They did more than we did to win the game.
Just wasn't playing well enough. I think ball placement was a little all over the place today. I think early on just missed a couple throws and was a little bit off. And
I think we all can be better. Myself, number one at the forefront of that.
Amen. So you can tell Rutledge
Broadcasting
that.
live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside John Audius. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you. Primetime Lois, Sean behind the glass. And Molly Brown pulled a Matt Hamilton, just disappeared for a while there. So we're happy to hear. Molly Brown, I think, is on the show tomorrow. And happy that Molly Brown is joining the show now. You're right, Wednesday, because we're carrying the Brewer game tomorrow.
We are carrying the Brewer game tomorrow. Playoff action starts tomorrow right here on 100.5 ESPN. Jim, your favorite team?
I don't dislike the Brewers. I just like to use them as my hobby horse for all fans that want to act like the Bears will never have a quarterback because they've never had a quarterback, but yet the Brewers will win a World Series despite having never won a World Series.
Molly, as you can see, nothing's changed while you've been gone.
Yep. Yeah, guys, I feel like I've been gone forever. What was it, Friday?
Feels like forever, Molly. Feels like forever.
Oh, yeah, I was gone Thursday, too. I forgot that we're out tomorrow, though, so that's kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to fighting with you about the Packers.
With me about the Packers?
I don't know.
Well, John's a Vikings fan. I feel like maybe you can kind of take out some of the anger you had with your husband, who's also a Vikings fan. You can talk to John about it.
True. I actually forgot that, John, you were a Vikings fan until I turned on the stream and I saw that you were wearing purple.
I know.
And I was like, oh, God.
I know.
Our poor fans today.
I know. I was thinking to myself, I'm going to wear this only if they win. If they hadn't won, I would have shown up in just like a black T-shirt or something.
Now, Ryan, I feel like we have been fair today.
You guys have been pretty fair. For a Vikings and a Bears fan, you guys have been pretty fair.
I think we've been very fair.
Yeah. My general, now maybe I could be a little more soft with your feelings, but that's not really how I do the show.
No.
But Molly, my general takeaway from the game is that, yes, obviously the Packers played an amazing second half. Vikings played a great first half. But realistically, the score is indicative of the Vikings, I think, are just a little bit better team. The line was 3 when the game started. It was 2.5 when the game first hit the books. Vikings win by 2. I think the Vikings are just a little bit better than the Packers right now this season. And I think the score, however it got there, is actually the true indicative of the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, I've been trying to rack my head around it, I feel like, because I'm trying to figure out did the Packers actually have a good comeback and make good plays in the second half, or were the Vikings just kind of lax because they felt like they had such a big lead? Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know. I certainly feel better about the Packers in the second half than I did in the first half, and I'm glad that they did end the game the way that they did, in the sense of going into next week. But I don't know if I feel great, even though the score was only a 2-point difference.
Well, I think when you give up 31 points, no matter how the flow of the game happens, that's just too many. That's just putting too much pressure on your offense. And I think what Jim said is probably right. The Vikings are better, but how much better? I think that's the question at this point after the second half by Green Bay. And it gets to the poll question today. What do you think, Molly? Are the Packers a top 2 team in the division?
Oof. That's
because
so
we
hard.
have the right answer, by the way.
Okay, what is the right answer?
They are not one of the top 2 teams in the division.
Molly, today you can't say it today. I mean, there's no way today you can say that with a straight face.
It's just tough too, because it's the Lions are still iffy this season too. Where it's weird because it's I felt like, and I think we all felt this way going into the season, that the Detroit Lions were going to be the number 1 team in the NFC North, right? Without a doubt, they were going to be the team to beat. And then after that, it was probably Packers, Bears, Vikings. And now it's totally flip-flop. So, I mean, absolutely Vikings at 1. And gosh, I don't know. I'm excited to see what the Seahawks-Lions game does look like tonight, though, because I think that is going to give us some indicators. But
yeah, because Molly, you can just make a case. The Lions, their losses to their Achilles heel team, the Buccaneers just handle them, and the Buccaneers are a good team. They beat the Rams, and they beat the Cardinals, and they lost to the Buccaneers. Gosh, if they win this, they're going to be 3-1 in conference. Meanwhile, the Packers are 0-2 in conference.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Wait, 0-2 in conference, not division.
Yep.
And no, yeah, it's been a couple days, guys. Yeah, gosh. Okay, I guess right now I can't, but depending how the Lions do, that could change my opinion.
I want to chime in. Tom in the 608 had a thing for John, but I hate this, and I'm not going to use the word he used because it's annoying. But typical Viking fan, only wear your colors when your team wins.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, what do you what? I don't understand. It's so stupid. It's classic Packer fan mentality of like, you live in a safe space. You can wear your Packer gear all day, every day, and everyone's just going to give you a hug.
Yep.
You have to, John. In this case, you're choosing violence to wear the Vikings, and you don't need to choose violence against yourself if the team wins. So, like, it's a choice. You don't get to just wake up and have a hunky-dory day if you're wearing your Vikings gear or Bears gear during the day. So, yes, maybe you just don't want to deal with crap, and you just wear it on days they win. And, like, it's so rich coming from fans who are, like, live in the – I've said this before, being a Packers fan is the simplest thing in the world because in the state of Wisconsin, like 90% of the state, anywhere you go, you're just going to get a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Like New York, any other state, that's not the case. Like even in Chicago, Indianapolis isn't that far away and Green Bay is right there by the border. Like Wisconsin just kind of has the state. Minnesota could be that way too, but like it's pretty easy being a Packer fan in the state of Wisconsin. So I always, those I'm bothered for you, John.
I mean, I get it. I get why he would say something like that. But you're right. Like go wear a Packers jersey in Minneapolis.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So did I? Yeah, I'll admit I wore it because they won.
Because it's one of those things where like I just don't want to deal with it today if they don't win. Like like I don't want to deal with it.
I got to be honest, Jim. The fact you aren't wearing Bears stuff today really is.
Come on,
that's
man.
a lot of self-restraint.
Well, I should have. I just had a meeting. I should have brought an extra shirt because I even did go for a run today. I could have like put on a different shirt after the run. That's on me. I did wear one Sunday.
That is something that I will give my husband, as annoying as he is, especially during football season. He was talking a lot during the game yesterday. We went to one of our friends' houses for the game. He was talking a lot during the first half, and then when third quarter was happening and fourth quarter, he didn't talk to us the entire time. And I was like, "Yep, gotcha." But that is a prop that I will give to my husband is no matter how that team is, every single year, like he will wear Viking stuff whenever the hell he wants to, like. And I'm like, I can't believe you're wearing that. Like, they suck. But I get you, though, because if I ever wear, like, Iowa stuff here, I either get one or two people that say, go Hawks, and then, like, other people are just like, why are you wearing that? Like,
yeah, and I wear, like, and I've talked about it before, like, as a Bears fan, like, a lot of times I'm doing stuff I don't. Well, half the time I have to watch the game back anyways. Packers, I'll just watch at night. So, like, I don't discount doing stuff with my family on a Sunday. So sometimes, like, I'm at, week one? I was at the petting zoo. I'm wearing a Bears shirt. Now I'm checking the scores. I'm going to watch the game later. I had some people give me crap, but I had a few other people be like, hey, go Bears, bear down, like, first week of the season. So I'm out wearing it, and you are, sounds like too, John, like, on Sundays and stuff. But it is just always a choice because it's the safest space in the world to be a Packer fan in the state of Wisconsin. So it's just one of those, because every fan, like, if the Brewers lose, you know who's not calling me on Tuesday or whatever day, Friday? If the Brewers lose in the first round, you know who's not calling in on Friday talking trash? Brewers fans. And you know what would be annoying for me to do? Where are the Brewers fans? You're all shut up. Of course, your team lost. Like, that's what is expected. Like, you sound ridiculous if you just called in and been like, yeah, but.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, you know, so it's just an inane.
I love that soundbite, by the way.
So you can tell Rutledge that.
What did we have? Oh, Molly, do you want to play a sticker game with Molly real quick?
Yes, Molly. So I don't know if you were listening to the previous segment just now, but we got it.
Emoji thing?
Emoji stickers. It's our non-traditional grading scale, Molly. Maybe are you familiar with it from your kids at all? Is this how they're graded in school?
Well, actually, I believe that John hit it on the head with that it's like either numbers. You get like a 5 for like an A or something, or you get like exceeds expectation or S for satisfactory. I don't even know.
Take that.
So I'll attempt doing this bit. I'll see if I can figure it out.
All right. So who's your happy face after the game on Sunday, Molly?
Why are you laughing? I wish I could see your faces right now.
Well, just because it feels like a ridiculous thing to ask someone. Who's your happy face player?
Who is my happy face player?
Can't even think of one, huh?
I gave it to Jordan Love.
Because I listen to your guys' is that I don't want to be the same as you guys.
You can. You don't have to.
The right answer is
fair,
probably Reed.
Yeah, he was good. I feel like Dobbs was I felt like we had reliable for a bit until I think the Vikings probably figured out how to shut him down. I'll go Reed, easy answer.
All right, that's a good one. All right, well then, who did you feel like you were shrugging about after the game? Who made you just kind of be like, yeah, you did what I expected?
Ooh. Not Braden Narvison.
I said Jordan Love.
Wicks in the second half, you started to catch balls. You should have caught a lot more. I'll do that.
Yeah, that was same as mine, Molly.
Okay.
All right, and then who were you barfing about after the game? We know you barfed last year when you brought up to the Vikings game. Who are you barfing about after this Packers game at Lambeau Field this year?
Yeah, you know what's crazy is how ugly that first half was this year. I think that last year's was still uglier when they didn't get a first down until right before halftime. Jim can probably speak on that. I'm curious what his thoughts are. But I'm actually going to go, I think Narveson is the easy answer, but I'm going to say Eric Stokes. He was awful.
Thank you. That's what I said.
Is that what you said too?
I was trying to defend him.
I was saying that I didn't remember a specific moment where he stuck out as being bad. Keyshawn Nixon got burned.
I don't remember a specific moment that he stuck out being good.
Well, that's
he didn't.
fair.
What's his grade? Do anybody have the PFF subscription?
No, I don't. We should. They usually pop up.
We don't have money like that, John.
Okay, never mind. I would love to hear his grade.
I'm curious what the heck is wrong with Jair, because that one I feel like came out of nowhere. I know on Wednesday or whatever day that was when 90% of the starting lineup was not practicing, but Jair's legs better be falling off if he didn't play against Justin Jefferson. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, Molly, I just think he was dodging him. I think he was ducking Jefferson. I think he was afraid.
You think so? You sound like a Vikings fan.
I just see how dumb that sounds, fans? You know what I mean? Sometimes you can say things that are so stupid. I just want to say it out loud. That is a stupid thing. He was not dodging him. But you guarantee if Jefferson has an iffy injury and he misses the Packer game, write it down and take a picture. There will be Packer fans saying that Jefferson is dodging Jair.
Well, because he was.
Exhibit A.
I like that game, though. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, we giving that a thumbs up?
How about this?
A thumbs up emoji?
Right. Yeah, thumbs up emoji.
Can I add a twist to that game?
Yeah, please do.
So because there's a ton of emojis, so then if you had to pick one emoji to describe the game, what emoji?
I like that.
Ooh, okay. It's a good twist.
I would go with the guy with the teeth, the face where it's gritting your teeth. It's not great. It's just kind of that was the game. That was the Packers. The entire game was that face. Packer fans, excuse me. Oh, God, this is bad. Oh, God, we might get close. Oh, it came up short.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's the riding the mine shaft face. Is that what you'd call it? Just straight down. That's what I said.
Riding the mine shaft.
You're riding a mine shaft straight there. It wasn't a roller coaster in the first half. It was a mine shaft straight to the bottom of the earth.
The show was clean until you got on the show. The second you get on the show, Ryan's talking about riding the mine shaft.
I talked about that to start the show. What are you even talking about?
I didn't hear it then.
You edited it out?
I honestly didn't hear it.
Mine shaft sounds familiar.
Sounds naughty, honestly.
No, but I've never.
Riding the mine shaft definitely sounds like things that college kids say. Could be drug related.
No,
it could be a million different things.
I don't think that college kids know what a mine shaft is.
Interesting. We should call it Matt Hamilton. He is our expert old person.
True. Ryan, you going to get on that asking the interns we have in the college students if they know what a mine shaft is?
I'll do a survey.
What do you mean? I think they'd know what a mine shaft is. No?
They might get it mixed up with Minecraft.
Wait, do I know what a mine shaft is? It's just an entry to a mine.
Wasn't it a game?
Minecraft is a game, yes. It's still a game.
What is a mine shaft?
A mine shaft is the entrance to a mine, right?
That's what I said.
Yes.
Speaking of Minnesota Vikings, if you go to the Mall of America, there's actually a mine shaft ride you can ride, a virtual ride. It's awful.
Oh, nice.
I did not. When you started with the A, I thought you were going awesome. But you're it's awful. I thought you were going awesome there.
The Mystery Mine ride at the Mall of America. There it is. I'm looking it up.
No, I get incredibly car sick and stuff, and it was just absolutely terrible because then they're spraying stuff. Yeah, exactly. Going back to Vikings again. They spray stuff at your face, and then you feel the heat going through the shot. It's terrible. It's terrible. Just go. Everybody else enjoyed it, but not me.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Ryan, do you have anything for Molly?
You
had a face like you wanted something to say.
No, it feels nice to have another Packers fan to commiserate with now, to be honest, even though Molly's on the phone in Chicago still, I believe, right, Molly?
Oh, Chicago's got to be a happy town today.
No, I'm back home. I did not want to be in Chicago on a Sunday, and thank God I wasn't there when they won, too.
Good call. Smart.
Yeah, that's where winners are. I understand. Molly, thanks. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. I'll see you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
guys. Bye.
All right, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
So you guys have heard me tell you about how I love Revive Restoration, and if you've had an accident, they'll have your back. But what you might not know is that Revive Restoration can help prevent accidents. They have the duct cleaning service and the dryer vent cleaning service. It would have helped me prevent an accident, and my wife wouldn't have tried to clean her dryer vents alone, but Revive can do that for you. Help prevent accidents. Check out RevivePros.com to see the whole gambit of services they have to offer you, including that 24-hour emergency line. Or you can call Revive Restoration today and tell them Jim, Matt, and Molly sent you.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss, I've lost 35 pounds and I'm still hoping to lose more. I'm fitting into clothes I haven't worn in years. I'm feeling naturally more energized. Really, I'm just feeling great. Madison Weight Loss is exactly the program I needed to live a healthier life.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
It's just been announced, 2.99% APR on new 2024 Audi Q5s. Audi Madison has 15 new Q5s ready to drive home today, or check out the all-electric Audi models. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with National Customer Credit. Offer ends September 30th, 2024. Stop in and test drive today. Check out the website to see current qualifying inventory. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit StoughtonHealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Are we going to make Riley wrap this? This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're presented by Coors Light. It is me, Jim Rutledge, alongside Riley Yauk and John Audius. Primetime roller Sean behind the glass. And we got a full house despite no Matt Hamilton and no Molly Brown, as Pablo Iglesias is with us as well in the Everlight Solar studio.
Out on bail.
Before we get to...
Fresh out of jail, California
John
dreaming.
can rap it. I have no idea what the words are to this song.
Oh, you didn't listen to that? You didn't, make a California playlist?
No, I thought about it. And I made on my TikTok stories, I made a Party in the USA reference, a Miley reference. But that was as far as I went.
That's fair. I mean, I am nearly, or maybe I am 20 years older than you, so that's all right. JR in the car chimes in with, which is true, and I'll give him a shout out because I do like this restaurant. The Mine Shaft is a restaurant in Hartford. I've never been to the one in Oshkosh, so I can't give any credit to that one. But he says they have amazing pizza. Hartford. That's nice. Like my parents live in Cedarburg, so a lot of times we'll kind of drive. We'll on our way out of town, we'll all go to the Mine Shaft in Hartford, eat there, and then we'll go the rest of the way to Madison. My parents will go back to Cedarburg.
5,500 Google reviews, 4.2.
Okay, that's about right. Yeah,
not bad. Solid.
Yeah, it's got a little game room upstairs. It's definitely. It's a lot. It's definitely a Wisconsin. It's like a dive bar restaurant, but it's got good level. It's got Wisconsin food. Like, you are going to get hefty portions. You're going to get gravy, salt-filled, heavy food, but it's comfort food. That's how I would describe the Mine Shaft. Again, I've never been to the one in Oshkosh.
Do you know what a mine shaft is?
A mine shaft, like what you mine in, like the mine carts and stuff? Or are you talking about the restaurant? Yeah, I know what a mine shaft is.
Why? I don't know. There was discussion
Ryan
that
did not believe that people in their 20s knew what mine shafts were.
No, I believe that. You're the one who brought it up, Jim. You said you didn't think people in their 20s knew what a mine shaft was.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I brought up mine shaft. I think you were the one that was one question.
I'll play back the tape. I'll play back the tape.
I think people in their 20s or younger would even know what a mine shaft is more so than maybe some older folks because of the game Minecraft.
But they're not related, are they?
Yeah, but they're mine shafts in the game Minecraft.
So
I feel
Jim, you definitely brought up Minecraft.
Yeah, it's just part
I definitely brought up Minecraft, but I didn't know if that's related. I didn't know there was mine shafts in Minecraft. My girls have not really gotten into Minecraft. There was a little bit of time where I sat with Rosie and she'd played a little bit. I was bored to tears, so thankfully she wasn't. She wasn't that into it. I was just there to make sure that nobody weird was trying to talk to her. But other than that, I was like, this is rough. Can we just play something fun?
Yeah, good dad move there.
Yeah, can we play the Harry Potter game? At least we're doing something. But anyways, Riley was doing something. Give us the recap of your trip.
Yeah, so it was a very fun trip to California. I think my dad summed it up very well in our family group text. Lots of fun and lots of disappointment on said trip. The journey was something else. If you were unfortunate enough to follow along on the TikTok stories that I was posting periodically throughout our Saturday, me and my friends woke up at 3 a.m., drove down to O'Hare, caught around a 6 a.m. flight, 6:30 flight, got into Cali with enough time to get our bearings, get over to the stadium after traffic. We got a rental car, made things a lot easier.
I'm already tired, by the way. Just hearing all of this, I'm already tired and exhausted.
It was it was a day. It was a day. Got my friends into a VIP tailgate thanks to our friends over at ESPN LA, which was a great time. They took advantage. They took advantage of the free food and alcoholic beverages, that's for sure. And going into the first half, the first half of the game was ideal. You could not draw up a better start. I said this on my story. I posted about it on Twitter. It sounded like Camp Randall at the Coliseum. It was awesome. So I was hustling up to the press box after the USC touchdown drive, which I watched after I was down in the field for the pregame show. They kicked us out, stayed on the concourse, watched their touchdown drive, ran up to the press box, and I missed the first touchdown that the Badgers scored. And as I was walking, I hear a giant roar from the crowd, and I'm like, shoot, Locke just threw a pick. USC took a great start. And then I hear the PA press box guy, Braden Locke to Vinny Anthony, 63 yards, touchdown. And I'm like, yo, what?
You're like, what? What just happened?
Exactly. I was like, no way. How is this possible?
That's a mistake.
Who is this team? And I was trying to keep my cool, not cheer in the press box. It was first half was phenomenal. And it was a struggle not to cheer in the press box, given that first half, just the way things were looking, the forced turnovers, the pressure we were causing. Twee Walker looked great. Everything firing on all cylinders, and then the second half happened. I actually talked to he was a classmate of mine last year in our journalism classes, sports journalism, and we were talking in the bathroom at halftime. You got to play 2 halves. Was this the best half in the Luke Fickell era here at Wisconsin? And
that's where we're at right now, huh? Talking about halves.
Yep, exactly.
In the bathroom. Yeah.
In the bathroom.
Talking about practice.
Yeah.
Talking about halves.
And then we're like, yep, got to play 2, though. They had to play the second half, unfortunately. And they had a standing ovation from the Wisconsin crowd there as they walked off the field. And, then all hell broke loose in the second half. I took a lot of notes about what went wrong.
I will say this when you look up your notes. Fickell's record this season with his starting QBs to start the season, so not this season, I'm sorry, as a coach with Wisconsin, that the quarterback that he chose to start the season with, which would have been Mordecai and then obviously Van Dyke, he's 8-2. Fickell's record with Brandon Locke playing the majority of the game, 1-6.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that's your stat of the day right there.
Yeah, I believe I saw that stat as well. Who tweeted that out? Do you remember who posted that? Was that a beat reporter? Nathan? Oh, okay.
I don't know who that is, but yes.
That's still a very unfortunate stat. And, I mean, yeah, it's hard to put all the blame on the coaching staff when you have played, what is that, 7 games now with your backup quarterback? Yeah. And there was a reason.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, some of those games that the quarterback went down in the game.
Alabama,
but, Locke played most of
Ohio
Bama.
State.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do your notes say about the second half? What's the biggest reason Wisconsin lost this game?
Yep. So I wrote, "Where did it all go wrong?" ? You have the muff punt, which I think just zapped all momentum. They went 3-and-out to start the second half, but then they forced a 3-and-out. So it's like, okay, we're fine. We have an 11-point lead. We can just milk the clock from here on. Honestly, just cling and try and win the game. But again, also sad that that's kind of your attitude as a Badgers fan. But then inability to get off the field on 3rd down, that was very painful to watch. You could just see the defense just wilt and ultimately break after I believe USC converted on 3 third downs on the drive to cut the lead to 4, and then they converted on 2 third downs in their drive to take the lead. And after that, the defense was just cooked. Like, they were on the field. It was hot out in L.A. I was down on the field before the game. It was cooking down. Exactly. Thank you, Ryan. Down on the lower bowl of the Coliseum. So I couldn't really blame the defense. When you're on the field for the entire second half, there's only so much you can do. I got here positive 4th and 1 from shotgun. That's going to be the decision that's been criticized and critiqued the most, and I think it will continue to be criticized and critiqued the most until Wisconsin can figure out how to actually convert on a 4th and 1 if you're lining up out of the shotgun.
Can we go around the room about the 4th and 1? Is that fair criticism?
You got to block. I don't care what you run. Like, that's it. Just block it. I've seen some people say that it's more efficient to be in because it gives you more options to be in the 4th and 1, even if you're going to give away your formation. My bigger issue was both times they haven't had the 4th and 1, the offensive line's been blown up.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think if you have listen, you have to execute your plan. You have to execute what you practice. And unfortunately, I understand we're in a state and with a program that we wouldn't want to see that type of formation. Traditionally, you just run it right up the gut or whatever. But I think if that's your game plan and that's what you practice, you just have to execute what you practice, and they didn't.
And that's a great point. And I'll use an example, and people get triggered because I'll bring up the Bears here. But the week before, they were facing the Colts, and they ran a disastrous on the goal line 4th and 1. They decided for some reason, but this is what they had practiced, to run an option pitch, which is just so dumb because if you went for it on 4th down, you didn't get a yard, you give the ball to the Colts at like the inch-yard line, they have to get out of their own end zone. Instead, you pitch it backwards, and then they start at their own 12. Horrible on many levels, just sheer thinking it through. But this time around, and they talked about it all week, they had to spend the time to do it, but they created a different formation, and then they put their backup center as the fullback and used him to plow the way in for a different running back, Roschon Johnson, instead of DeAndre Swift, because different type back. But to your point, and this is a professional team, they took the entire week to add a couple plays at the goal line to fix that problem. So if you are a team that's going to run out of the shotgun, you either have to dedicate the time, which the Badgers could have during the bye week, but if they don't, you can't expect them to fix it at that point. So it's part of the issue with the identity, but I think the bigger issue was and the offensive line's been good so far this year, but in those situations, Yeah, block someone. Don't get pushed backwards.
Yeah, and up until that point, at least from my vantage point, it appeared that the Badgers had owned the line of scrimmage, too, which was painful. Like, the defense was getting pressure. Offense was getting some push to Wee Walker. We actually had some like, longer runs for what felt like the first time this season. And I can't say this for certain, but I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, in USC's game against Michigan, Michigan had the exact same situation. 4th and 1, they run an inside zone out of the shotgun, get like a 4-yard gain, convert, end up scoring a touchdown on that drive. Like, it's possible. It's possible. You see other teams do this with success. Alabama did it against us. It's just baffling how Wisconsin can't seem to figure out how to get that push to get that 1 yard.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Riley, you're in here, so we're going to put you on the spot if you want to take a part of it, but we're going to throw some stones.
1, 2, 3, Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, whether it's hot, cold, or just chill, we all deserve a chance to give out our best take of the day. And John, I do hope that I explained this segment better than the emoji sticker segment. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Each of you guys gives what you believe is your best take of the day. I'll give you each 30 seconds today because we're a little bit tight on time. You get 30 seconds to get out your best take. Once the clock's up, you're done talking, and then we move on to the next host. At the end, I'll decide whose take was the best and crown them as today's chill champion. Now, Riley, you're the first one in the room from this segment. I want to put you on the spot right away. 30 seconds on the clock, starting now.
Okay, this is from this past weekend. The Coliseum is the biggest waste of aura at a stadium ever. Got to go on the field for an entire hour before pregame. You can feel the history. You look around, you can just feel the... I don't know.
The legends.
Yes, exactly. Like, there's just something special about the Coliseum. And the USC crowd sucked. Their student section, I don't want to hear any crap about the Wisconsin student section ever again. Their student section never got full. It was maybe a third full by kickoff. It was gross. Supposedly, it was a sellout. 74,000.
And you're already at about 35 seconds there, Riley. I got to cut you off.
Geez.
Sorry, sir. Look, we got to keep it tight today, guys. We're pushing up against the close. I think I like the take, though, Riley. It's a hot take. We don't usually award hot takes here, but I got to give you some points for that one. All right, Jim Rutledge, keep it going around the table there. You're on the clock now. 30 seconds starts now.
All right, don't turn off my mic because I want to be able to finish this completely. There was, I don't know what it was, but someone got upset. They bought a $4,000 Taylor Swift autographed guitar, and they decided to smash it. And the problem I have with that is that you did that just for you and your bros to feel good because you could have donated that to a different charity. You could have given that to someone in your life that would have loved it. A little kid would have loved it. You could have gone to the Children's Hospital, donated there. So that is just a big F. Like, you honestly just threw away $4,000. Hopefully the money you donated was at least towards a charity. But speaking of, you can take part of an event with Taste of Hope. Really? I'm trying to raise money. Taste of Hope for the American Cancer Society is November 7th. You can go to tasteofhopemadison.org and you can get yourself a ticket. At this, there is an auction for a Taylor Swift autographed guitar, so you can buy that guitar and do the right thing with it, which is really anything but destroy it.
I scrolled by that video because I'm like, I don't want to watch this guy do that. But you should have given it to my daughter. My daughter would have freaked out over that thing.
Yes. I mean, you would have had one of those videos where someone's crying of just being overwhelmed with happiness.
Yeah. Yep. Overwhelmed with happiness, just like Jim Rutledge. Overwhelming the clock, as per usual. Like, I appreciate the charitable cause, Jim, but we got to play it tight here. So, John, you learned the lesson from Riley and Jim. Keep it under 30 seconds. Your timer starts now.
All right, the most iconic celebration in NBA history is the finger wave. Shout out to Dikembe Mutombo, who passed away at the age of 58. But when you think of 90s basketball, you know what, maybe I'll pull it back to the 90s. The most iconic celebration of the 90s in the NBA is the finger wave, because Dikembe Mutombo was the most defensive-minded player I think I've ever seen in NBA history. And shout out to Dikembe Mutombo, finger wave, all time.
And I'll add on to that as we go to break. Shea Serrano.
I think it cut off.
Yeah, a writer.
He kept it under 30.
That's why it's going to win. Shea Serrano, a writer for, actually now he used to write for The Ringer. Now he just writes books. But he said every time you heard a Dikembe Mutombo story, it was like the best story you ever heard. He must, like, by all accounts, Dikembe was like the best guy around. And go find the video of Dikembe Mutombo breathing in helium to try to play the voice of Lenny from or Squiggy or one of them from Three Stooges. He did it on Conan O'Brien's show.
Yeah.
And so to have him, like, that's what kind of sport he was. John was a good sport. Can we just give John the win?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly,
don't just. I don't want to earn
the win.
Well, honestly, you guys all earned the win because honestly, I liked all three of your takes a lot, but John kept another 30, so
yeah, he gets the win.
All I needed was just a sentence. That's all I really needed to say.
Well done.
Keep it under 30.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Over $2.5 million won last week at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
What?
Over 600 winners. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Business owners, athletic directors, and coaches, huddle up. Ches Malusi here. Did you know that you can outfit your business or school in Iron Jock apparel? Premium gear infused with world-class silver ion technology for permanent odor protection at a wholesale price that no one else can touch. Anti-static, 4-way stretch, wicking, cooling, and Iron Jock doesn't sell cheap cottons that shrink and fade. You'll love it. Get started at ironjock.com and click on Order My Gear. That's ironjoc.com. Order My Gear.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every dollar you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See quicktrip.com/fanzone for details.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Ben Crockless from Lakeside Lutheran High School. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You're a three-sport athlete, football, basketball, track and field, but you do have a favorite.
I do. My favorite would definitely be track. It's just different from every other sport in just a little way. Yes, it's individual, but it's also still a team sport, and I just like that feeling of, yes, it's on me, but at the same time, I'm not doing it just for myself. I'm doing it to help my team.
Talk about that rivalry here where Lake Mills, they walk over here for football, don't they?
They do, yeah. That's a rivalry that is really special. I'm really glad that they're also a very good team like us, because that makes it just such a much better game. It makes it sell tickets. It makes it just a great event for the community, no matter what side you're on.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
It seems like they're taking the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl in Cincinnati, is how I view that expression.
Did you just bring up a schoolyard?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
I was calling the Cleveland Browns poop while also tying in the Cincinnati
recess joke.
I thought I nailed it.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
He's coming out, 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 he's coming out. It's there.
Circling back to our poll question earlier in the show, do you think the Packers are still? Man, Ryan, do you read the poll question?
Where's it at? What are the numbers?
No. The question reads as, do you think the Packers still a top 2 team in the NFC North?
So I forgot R.
Yes.
Okay.
R.
Is this just like the Star Watts?
I feel like there's
like
like
a
Star Watts, yes. Wow,
Yes.
thank you, John.
I feel like that
Sorry.
R is like a dad joke in there somewhere. R. Forgot the R. Isn't it like a... Like, what is no, it's a Buccaneer.
Well,
Is that what it is?
I would say the Packers were definitely...
What does pirate pay for corn? Buccaneer?
Yeah.
Arr.
Oh, Buccaneer.
So anyways, yes, 65% of you are saying that they are a top 2 team. Ryan?
Well, no, they are just top 2 team. Not our top 2 team. Packers still top 2 team. So they might be right, actually, considering the grammar.
How about
True.
this? We keep saying if the Lions win, then they're not. What if the Lions lose? Then maybe the Packers are a top 2 team.
You can make that case, yes.
Right.
That is a case to be made. You can't make it if the Lions are 3-1 and the Vikings are undefeated. They're third.
I think at the end of the day, they're all 3 within, like, if you're putting point spreads on, like, neutral sites for all 3 of them, I think they're probably all within 3 points right now.
But if the Lions win, only one of them will be in last place.
True. 4 weeks into the season, correct? Because Jim Rutledge made such a big deal about how early it was too early in the year. I thought, right,
but 4 weeks. I said
but
4
weeks. That's when the season starts.
And don't get on me. That's how coaches view it.
Okay, that's
4 weeks at a time.
Oh, that's
how much time do we have in this segment, by the way?
We have about 2 more minutes.
I was going to ask you, what is Caleb Williams going to be this year?
Well, I
Sorry,
said,
I went down
no,
there.
that's a good question, though.
Okay.
It's a good question.
And I said this earlier. Like, I still think he's in play to he'll break every rookie passing record for the Bears. I think it's still in play. He breaks every Bears passing record as a rookie. 4,000 yards, which means he needs to average 250. Nobody's reached 4,000 yards as a Bears quarterback. He's right now right under 200 yards a game, but I think that's only going to climb. Mm-hmm. The Bears have taken a strategy of, similar to the Packers did last year, but Love was a fourth-year quarterback last year, of, we're not going. If you watch Jaden Daniels, they've cut the field in half. Like, if you watch his pass chart, he's literally throwing to one half of the field. Okay. Maybe that works all year. Maybe that works, but it might not work in the year 2, 3. The Bears have, with Caleb, it is the whole. They're giving him the whole field. You're making checks. You're making.
It's going to take a little bit longer.
Yes, you got to get there all the way.
Get comfortable.
But I do think, at a bare minimum, Caleb Williams will be better in year 1 than Justin Fields would have been as a year 4 starter for the Bears. So that automatically makes it a win, and then I think you climb from there. So I do think he'll be 15th, 16th best quarterback in the league this year, and then make that jump. I don't think he'll be C.J. Stroud, but maybe he ends up there, because if you watch his game film, and it's not me doing this, the people who watch it say he's just picking things up very quickly. And now he had a massive game 2 games ago statistically, very similar to Jordan Love's, though, which is a little sloppy game. This last week, incredibly efficient, and led the team to victory over a team that might have playoff aspirations. So he's the 4th best quarterback in the league, but I still feel good in the division, But I do feel like he'll be climbing throughout the year.
Solid, but he paints his fingernails.
I know.
But
I know.
What? I'm just kidding.
That'll make him.
I don't care.
That'll end his career. I know. That's actually my favorite part because it gets people, as Pablo's back there giving us the bear growl from Caleb Williams as well. Well, John, thank you.
Hey, thanks.
It's been
This
awesome.
was fun.
Yeah, you'll have to do it again sometime. I'm telling Jesse to bump you up the list. I'm sick of Alex G. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Sorry, Alex.